Yes, I will go back to school and achieve victory. No man will take what my father has built unless that man is me.
My Billy, sweet Billy boy, I knew you would go back. No one can stop you if you try. Don't I have a nice rack?
Oh! I think we're live. No, we are live, I know, but I think I did the timing right. And you can hear me. Yes, you can. And maybe you can still hear the music a little bit. That's fine. But anyway, hello, and welcome back to the Adam Sandler Podcast. Or I guess Please Don't Livestream presents a spin-off. The Adam Sandler Podcast. I don't know what it's called, really. But we're doing it. It's the second episode of this Adam Sandler special. And with me, as always, is my trusty co-host and friend, Christopher.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And yeah, I guess today is the episode where we talk about, I guess, the real start of Adam Sandler's illustrious career. At least movie career. Because in this episode, we are talking about Billy Madison. And I thought we discussed this last week when we did going overboard. How at least you said, and I agree that we probably couldn't get any. It couldn't get any worse than this. We're starting at the bottom. It couldn't get better. Mm. And that's still correct. But there were a few times when rewatching Billy Madison, I was like, ooh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just start with that. What was your initial reaction when had you seen the movie before?
Yeah, but like when it came out, sort of. I mean, not when it came out because I was like 6 then, but
yeah.
A few years later. Yeah. I think I saw it maybe like 98 or 2000 maybe. And I haven't rewatched it because I didn't really appreciate it then. I have the same feeling that I had then, from what I remember. The concept could be good.
Yeah.
But it's really like, it doesn't have, how do you say it? It doesn't have that, it doesn't know where to go. It just goes around a lot and just takes weird turns, and it feels like the movie gets bored of itself and do something completely different.
Yes.
And then it's hard to actually follow the movie. But as on a positive note, this one at least is an actual movie. Which Going Overboard wasn't.
Yeah, this has like structure. It has character arcs, kind of.
Yeah, I would say character arcs. Arcs. Yeah. So I mean, it got that going for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's better than Going Overboard. It's the best Adam Sandler we've seen so far in this podcast.
Yes, it is definitely.
But yeah, it's not worth a rewatch.
No, it's a terrible movie. And I thought just to refresh our minds a little bit, we would check out the trailer. Just if anyone forgot what movie we're talking about. So let's see if I can bring up the.
I would say this movie is This is the perfect example of what people who hate Adam Sandler think Adam Sandler is. It's this movie.
Yeah, that's I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
The stupid voices and the immature humor and the just nonsense.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that because this movie amazed me right from the beginning. But let's see if I can. There we go. Let's play the trailer. There.
Suntan lotion is good for me.
Yes.
He was born into privilege
Really, fool? Really?
and stood to inherit a fortune. But for 27-year-old Billy Madison, there's just one problem.
How could I hand over my company to someone who couldn't even get through school?
That's nice.
Billy is not an idiot.
Give me one more chance. I'll prove I can take over. First grade through 12th grade, all over again. And then I get to take over Madison hotels.
You're on.
I want you all to meet Billy.
I didn't watch through the entire trailer, but now I can see they really picked the best parts.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see the trailer, it's like, then you see that movie that it maybe could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
You know what? That's enough of that trailer. I don't want to watch it anymore. I was rewatching the movie just before this, just to refresh my memory, and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. So let's remove that. There we go. Yeah, but that's what the movie's about. He has to redo all of like elementary school and high school in order to take over his father's company.
yeah.
And classic storyline where he has to like prove himself worthy, but it's just so I get that, but it's so stupid. Just because you pass like elementary school and high school doesn't mean you can run a Fortune 500 company. Like,
Nah.
why would his father do this? He is an imbecile. I mean, I get the point, but
Yeah, I mean, because they put it up as this weird thing in the movie. No, in the trailer. This that you have to redo school because that's the problem. But it's not really. I mean, if you, I'm being kind to the movie.
Oh
here,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So,
I think I know what you're gonna say, man. Yeah.
So it's not about just going through school. It's more about that he actually does something. That he actually comes up with an idea to because it's the character's Billy Madison's Billy's own idea to do this because his father tells him you're not going to inherit this because you're stupid, you can't do it, you haven't never done anything good in your life.
Yeah.
You haven't even, as said in trailer, you didn't even finish elementary school.
Yeah.
And Billy Madison then say like, well, here's a bet. I bet you that I can go through elementary school in what is it? I mean, 2 months, 3 months,
12 weeks or 4 months. I think it's
4 months.
12 weeks.
So I bet you. Wait, 12 weeks is 3 months.
Oh right, sorry.
Yeah. So 3
Basic
months.
math. Yeah.
So he's more. It's more of a bet that I can do this in 3 months. And the father says, "Yeah, okay. So you came up with this idea. That's something. You're on the right track. If you do this, if you hang in there, you can prove to me that you can hang in and do something at all.
Yeah.
That you're not just gonna squander it." Then why his father from the start wanted to give it to Billy, well, that's another story.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Billy didn't even go to college, so Billy doesn't know how anything works. So that's another thing. But but it's not about actually
no, it's
going.
about him learning, growing up, learning to take responsibility. It's one of those. So that's fine. But it's just,
and it's
you gotta stretch your suspension of disbelief a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, it's like the same. The Swedish movie, the man who quit smoking. I think it's called in English.
Oh right, yeah. I know. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Okay, I rewatched it several times. It's great because it's more or less the same thing, but in that movie, it's because there's son who's gonna inherit his father's company. Well, in that movie, the son is actually successful and great at his job and actually a good person.
Okay.
So, but his father says that you can only inherit it if you stop smoking because smoking is smoking makes you less productive or something like that. That's the gist of it. So
Yeah.
I don't think someone who smokes can actually own this company. So if you have to stop smoking, then you can inherit the company.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the same thing, but in that movie, it's also framed like it's not the smoking that's the thing; it's the commitment. That's the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But just like the premise in the movie, that Billy Madison doesn't want to let the other guy, the bad guy in the movie, what is his name? Eric Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he is supposed to take over if Billy can't.
No.
And they're setting him up as the bad guy, but right away when I was watching, it was like, yeah, he's a bit of an asshole, but he's obviously the most competent like person between those two to take over.
Yeah.
He hasn't really done anything to be the bad guy other than being mean to Billy, I suppose. But it's not like, oh, I'm gonna sell the company and fire everybody. They should have done something like that. But no, he's just a kind of a dick, and that's it. That's enough for him to be the bad guy in the movie. Honestly, especially in the first half of the movie, Billy Madison is a worse person. He's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first half of the movie was insufferable. It was so horrible in so many levels, and the worst part, and I don't know if this was like deliberate or what, but because Billy had this weird voice in the first half of the movie. You know, the Adam Sandler voice that
yeah, I don't know what that is.
And he used that voice in the first half, but then they just drop it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was supposed to mean he's growing up, or if Adam Sandler just didn't want to do the voice anymore. I don't know. It was weird because I was thinking that's just how Billy talks.
Yeah.
And then so my thought was, which probably is kind of true, that Adam Sandler did this voice for this character, and then this worked, and then he just kept using that voice in all other movies from here on.
Yeah.
In different degrees.
Yeah. Well, I know he uses a version of that voice a lot on SNL. And we should mention that Billy Madison was made, or at least it had premiered in 1995. So it's 5 years, almost 6 years after Going Overboard. And during these years, he's become quite popular at SNL. And I know a lot of his characters, like there's a recognizable theme with his characters. I know because the voice, he uses that voice when he does Canteen Boy. It's also kind of there when he does Cajun Man. And there's one other character, I can't remember the name now, that uses that kind of voice. But that was kind of his thing. He was insert thing man or insert thing boy. It was Opera Man, Cajun Man, Canteen Boy. That was kind of his thing. He kind of did these kind of stupid characters on SNL as well. I never really appreciated his SNL stuff more than I thought. I saw one skit with Cajun Man that was really funny because it's such a weird concept. But that was about it.
I never really looked into his. I've seen him on SNL, but not extensively, so no. I don't really have an opinion on his things.
No, yeah, I haven't seen that much. But I mean, like, the people who were there with him, a few of them are in the movie. Chris Farley, Norm Macdonald. They had, like, they did, like, proper good work on SNL.
Oh, yeah.
Even what's his name? David Spade had some good stuff on SNL back then. But for some reason, Adam Sandler became the popular one. I don't really understand why. Well,
I gotta say,
I have a theory, but I shouldn't.
Just when you mentioned it, Chris Farley, that was the only thing in this movie that I actually laughed a lot about.
Me too.
Just Chris Farley's character and everything he does. But I don't think that's anything to do with the writing or directing. That's just because he's a funny guy.
Yes.
And he can make anything funny.
Chris Farley is very funny. Yeah, just the first time you see him, he plays the bus driver. And I just started laughing. That's the only time I really, really laughed in the movie. I mean, out of like joy.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. It was just so funny when he was like this super angry.
But he's
for
hold it back.
No reason.
God damn it! It's so good.
Yeah, so that was, I think that was well, I know that's the funniest part of the entire movie.
Yes.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, yes, he's
And
the
he's
best
just,
part of this.
and he's not even credited.
No, he's in like 3 scenes or whatever.
Yeah.
But talking about laughing, I did actually laugh a lot while watching this movie, especially in the first like 10-15 minutes, because as we saw in the trailer, the movie starts with him in the pool, like just singing weird things with that voice, being drunk and having what is it called? Solsting, sun.
Heat stroke.
Heat stroke, yeah. And the first 5 minutes of the movie are so bizarre that I couldn't believe what I was watching. Because I hadn't seen this in well over 10 years. I didn't remember anything except for the premise. And I was just like, is this real? Is this the movie, or what is happening here? Because it was so strange. And it all culminates in that dinner scene, which we saw a little bit of in the trailer. Which is just what I was baffled, and I was just laughing to stop myself from going nuts.
I think I was also extremely
so unprepared.
baffled. Yeah, I mean, I was same.
Yeah.
But I can say that laughing was not my reaction.
What was your reaction?
It was more of violently shaking my head and groaning and sighing a lot.
Well, yeah, I did that too, but it was like between bursts of laughter.
Yeah, 'cause it was like someone like made a parody of Adam Sandler. It was so everything you hate about him concentrated in 10 minutes. There was like nothing good about it at all. No good acting, no good comedy. Nothing.
It was
so horrible. Because when those 10 minutes, at the end of those 10 minutes, I was close to turning this movie off. And I was like, because I was at that point like, maybe this is worse than going overboard. Maybe this is, but yeah, it kind of shaped up from there on, and I didn't hate it from there on. It was just those. Yeah, that dinner scene. Oh yeah, the dinner scene.
Yeah, I pulled a clip for that one.
Yeah, because I actually in disbelief, I rewinded the movie 4 times to that scene because I was like, did I miss something? What's going on? When he was like speaking gibberish, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, let's watch the clip. I think you have it, right?
Yeah. Because I was thinking he was speaking a different language first, like Spanish or something. So I was rewinding it, like, what is it saying? Am I supposed to understand this? What is going on? And then I was like, no, he's just speaking gibberish.
It's just
for
gibberish.
no reason.
Oh my god, it's so terrible. Let's see. Let's play it. There.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he's supposed to be like,
"Hey, Carl, what's up?"
Messing up this dinner meeting for his dad because he wants to. But we don't know that yet. Honestly, I just thought he was playing retarded, you know?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't acting human. Yeah.
No.
That's enough, Billy. Because you took your own sweet-ass time coming down here tonight, these gentlemen are going to miss their last flights home.
Well, this guy can stay in my room, I'll tell you that much.
Billy, eat your soup.
It's good soup.
Well, gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for coming out here this evening. Please, Billy, please, no gibberish tonight, please.
No gibberish.
And that look.
This is a big night for me tonight, Jeff.
The look of
I have an
complete soullessness.
That's it, Billy, get the hell out of here!
And it doesn't stop. Why doesn't it stop? Stop talking like that. It's funny the first time. Stop. He's just screaming.
Nice talking to you, Billy.
Hello. Sabadoo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and that's the culmination of those first 10 minutes, and I was just like, what is going on here? Like we said, it calms itself down as soon as the actual plot starts going, which is pretty soon after this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't get a lot better.
No, I think that. Yeah, at least this movie could be better. If there are a few things that really messed this movie up. Well, the first two glaring issues is, as you stated, the bad guy isn't really bad in any way, and the good guy, we're not sympathetic for him.
No, not at all.
It doesn't feel like it. I don't know. It doesn't feel like he even wants it. He just wants it because.
Yeah, because. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and both of these things are easily fixed with simple lines of dialogue thrown in here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can just, like when he's at the pool in the beginning, instead of having this like penguin thing, we could just put in a talk, like he's talking with his friends, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be a big shot soon." He's like, "Yeah, I'm really looking forward to running the company." I don't know.
Yeah, that he feels entitled to it.
Yeah, just something like that.
Yeah, but he's not like, "Oh, you're not worthy," and like, "Oh no, I have to show him."
Yeah, and then we can have like the school thing can be his growing experience when he realizes that he feels entitled to it from the beginning. He goes through this, and then he realizes that I can't run this company. I am not good enough for it.
Yeah.
Now I know that, and then gives it away.
Yeah,
it does in the movie, but just do something that makes us root for him.
Yeah, the only like narrative thrust is I wanna show that I can actually do this. It's not that he wants to like become better as a person or something along the way that changes his mind or anything. It's just I want to inherit the company, and I don't want Eric to get it. That's about it.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to do it because it's not my thing. I want to be a teacher." They just throw that in there to make him look nice.
And then I also feel, but I have that sentiment in a lot of movies, so it's not specific to this, but we didn't need a love story.
No, and that love story.
It's not just bad. It's also kind of weird and really, a little creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's creepy though. I mean, they're both adults, really.
They are adults, but she's still his teacher because he gets kind of infatuated with Miss whatever her name is. I forget. Miss Vaughn, Veronica Vaughn is her character's name. Bridget Wilson.
Yeah.
And turns out she's going to be his third grade teacher. And right from the beginning, like they always do in these kind of love stories, she shows no interest. She actually dislikes him right off the bat because she's taking she feels that he's entitled. He gets a second shot at school, like people don't actually do that. She's like, okay, that's fair. And then he's being an asshole, being an idiot, and she gets even less interested in him because of that. But then there's this magical change at page 52 in the script.
Yeah.
Where she like, maybe isn't all bad because he does one nice thing to one kid.
No. She likes him before he does that nice thing.
She does?
Because you're talking about when they're on the field trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. She shows interest even on the bus.
Yeah, that's true.
And when they're walking from the bus. So it's even worse. He didn't even do the nice thing before she liked her. She liked him before that.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Okay. So
it's even more stupid.
So let's say sure, someone can like someone because of one small little deed they do.
Yeah.
Fair enough for a movie. But if he didn't even do that, why does she like him?
I don't know, because I mean,
I don't get it.
it did feel like it was such a drastic change of character motivation that it felt like it was two characters that they had smushed together in the script.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I just think that they decided that we have a love interest and we don't know how to make Adam Sandler likable, so I guess she likes him now.
Yeah. How are we gonna do this? Oh, I don't know. She just likes him.
Yeah. I gotta say though, in this movie, I liked that character. I liked her character.
Sure.
Both of her characters.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I'm a little impressed because every time she was on screen, she felt like a real person.
Yeah. One of the few in this movie.
Yeah. And then it felt realistic, I think.
Yeah. But
that's something, I guess.
But I gotta say, when the one scene that feels really creepy is when they're celebrating his fourth grade, finishing fourth grade, and they're in his tent. He lives in a big tent for some reason, and it's we've seen them liking each other, but out of nowhere they're about to have sex when they're interrupted, and I was like, stop, wait. Why? It was so weird, and that's kind of creepy because I found that creepy because even though they are the same age, she's supposed to be his teacher, and she says,
and it's also...
"You got your teacher alone." It's like,
yeah, exactly. It's the phrasing of the scene because she says like, "You're on your third grade. I think it's third grade graduation, and you're alone with your teacher. What you gonna do?" And that was like, well,
yeah. Like I don't want to kink shame, but the fact that it's his third grade teacher makes it weird. It's a teacher thing, you know.
They should have just put that scene, kept it intact, just put it when he's like graduating 8th grade, 9th grade, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been like
just because she says 3rd grade.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, but that would have been a great scene for like the end of the movie. Instead of making her his girlfriend for half the movie, in which she feels very little purpose after that. Why not make her, for lack of a better terms, like the prize at the end that he shows her that, hey, I'm an adult now, and she's like, oh, okay, now I can actually like you for real.
Yeah.
Have that scene in the end, but
that would have been better. The best would have been just to strike her from the to remove the love story. But of course, the Adam Sandler needs to have a love story. So
and I think he produced this movie, so I think that's why also.
Yeah. I mean, has he ever made any of his comedy without a love story? I mean,
I don't think so. There's always some sort of love interest involved.
Yeah. So but yeah, it shaped up. It wasn't that bad as the first 10 minutes. That was the worst of it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, I mean, I won't rewatch it, but I wasn't in pain.
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, towards the end, it becomes very formulaic in a bad way, because, I mean, I like when you stick to certain structures, but here it was just too predictable. Like, we get what's going to happen.
But I gotta say, so it's been 6 years since Going Overboard.
Oh yeah,
roughly.
Yeah.
And he's made a name for himself on TV, and this is like breakout role.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get why people like this movie and why it kickstarted his movie career. I mean, it is a movie for teenagers. Teenage boys,
I
I'd
suppose.
say.
Yeah.
And it's very... That was something I was thinking of. It's very, like, quote-worthy. Something to quote in schoolyard.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of those things. And a lot of, like, talk about girls and fun pranks and whatever. I mean, it's... For that age. Like, for, like, 12 to 14-year-old boys. I mean, I get it.
I get it, but it's so weird to watch because he's 27 in real life, I think, or 28. And he's running around with Norm Macdonald, who's a few years older than him, and the other guy who I don't even know who he is. But they're like in their early 30s, like putting flaming bags of shit on people's porches, and like having like kids' birthday parties is just it's this weird like childlike fantasy, and this is, and the continuing in other movies he made. This is why people called him like a man-child. And he's not really trying his best to get rid of that stamp, really.
No, because it made him money. I mean, it's
But that's what's so weird about it. Yeah, like you said, it's for like 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
But watching it now, it's just like, wow.
Yeah, and also it was a different landscape. The comedy movies were worse back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Generally, they're. Yeah. So I think this. Yeah, I get it. For '95, I mean, what other comedies were around that back then?
I don't know, comedies.
I mean, was it like Dumb and Dumber back then?
Yeah, that was like 93 or 4 or something. Yeah, the first Ace Ventura movie came out in 94.
Yeah, and I'd say that's smarter, and Jim Carrey's obviously a better comedic actor.
Yeah.
But it's on par. It's in the same ballpark.
Yeah, I know. I see what you mean. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's just such mean-spiritedness in the movie. Like there often is in his movies. Like he's just a mean person in a lot of the movie, and he doesn't get that much better throughout the movie. It's just it's a weird character for people to relate to.
Yeah, I'd say he doesn't learn anything through the entire movie.
Not really.
He doesn't become more grown up. He doesn't realize that he was bad before. He doesn't do anything. No. The only thing that happens in the movie is that we see that he can do things if he has the right motivation. And when he has the right motivation, he does the thing. That's everything that happens in the movie. That's the character arc.
Yeah.
In the start of the movie, he doesn't have a motivation to do a thing. Then he gets motivation to do a thing, and then he does a thing, and then the movie's over.
Yeah, that's about it. Hey, yeah, I just speaking of all this, and especially watching that clip, the dinner scene, like he went to college, and he went to college to study method acting. I found that out while researching this movie, and it's just reading that and then watching this movie and watching his subsequent movies after that. It's like, why didn't you use? I mean, maybe he was a bad student. I don't know, but it feels like if you studied method acting, why aren't you better? Why aren't you trying something different? I mean, he had a method acting background when he did Billy Madison, and it's just mind-boggling to me. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just looking through, just because I was interested in that dinner scene, which we have agreed is the worst part of the entire movie.
Yes.
I was just looking over the comments on the YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
Just for reference.
Yeah.
They're all positive and saying this was back when he was great.
Oh my god, okay.
I mean, Rich Wayne from 3 years ago, back when Adam Sandler was actually funny. Dylan Alberino from 5 years ago. The 90s when Adam Sandler gave us a real comedy gold.
Okay.
And Warlock 97 from 3 years ago. The part where he bites the man's arm gets me every time. I mean, people love this shit.
That's almost the saddest part. Some people actually like this. I mean, I don't want to sound too elitist, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's really bad.
Bad.
I think I read the best because I was reading some like on IMDb when I was looking over this movie.
Yeah.
It was like one of those user reviews.
Oh yeah.
And I always look over those because they're always funny. It's always like this one guy who's loved the movie, whatever movie it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like this really like passive aggressive review. Let's see. Here. Those who dislike this movie are more than likely too old and stuck on your Bob Hope type era comedians and refuse to admit any other. Sandler isn't the greatest comedian who ever lived, but his shtick was fresh and original when this movie came out. I have a video of him back when he did stand-up, and the guy is brilliant.
Yeah, we watched his stand-up last week. It's not brilliant.
No,
nope.
It's passable.
Yeah, and even if you want to say like it was fresh and unique, sure, nobody was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's good.
No.
It can be different in a bad way. I don't know.
Yeah, but from what I remember, this movie, as I said, wasn't one of my favorites. I didn't like it that much.
No.
When I was younger, because I discovered Adam Sandler. I think it was Big Daddy.
Okay.
I think when that one came out.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one, and I thought that was kind of okay. It was kind of okay movie because it was like there was a story,
yeah,
and it actually worked. This thing that he's actually well, we're coming to that movie later, but
yeah,
that he's an immature guy who never grew up, and now he's made to grow up, and I think it was kind of heartwarming, kind of wholesome, and I liked the movie.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same kind of plot arc, but it works better in that one. Yeah,
and we'll see what I think now.
Yeah.
Almost, well, exactly 21 years later.
Yeah.
But I remember I went back and watched some older Adam Sandler movies. So like this one, Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, and so on. And I remember this one was not my cup of tea, but I did like his humor, which is kind of similar. But I think he's more. I don't want to give him too much credit, but he wasn't as polished in this movie as I remember he is later on.
That's true.
In Waterboy and Big Daddy and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's new and original, and I can see that people like this. But I had a little higher standards back then, and I think even higher now.
Yes. Yeah. And speaking of higher standards, I another clip from the movie that just really I in a strange way enjoyed, not because it's funny or clever or it's actually very mean-spirited once again, but it's the dodgeball scene.
Is it because you hate children?
No, it's because when I watched that, we're gonna watch it in a little bit, but I saw that scene and was like, hey, he's throwing that ball really hard. I wonder if they like nerfed it somehow.
Yeah.
And let's watch that clip. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oops. There we go. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, he's playing dodgeball with, these are the second or third graders. So they're like 7-8 years old.
Yeah, third graders.
Yeah. Let's see.
Now you're all in big trouble.
So, yeah. They always cut away pretty fast each time he hits someone with the ball. Yeah, and they're at. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, he throws kind of hard, yes. And there's like one part he hits like a kid right in the face, which could be kind of bad.
Yeah.
But most of the times he throws it at their back and at their legs, and I don't think it's that bad. It's not like they fall over.
No. But I don't know. I linked you the interview from Conan. Did you watch it before?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah. Like I read this before I found the clip. Like the kids were actually crying afterwards. That's why they had to cut so fast, because he was throwing it as hard as he could. It's like, I get it. Like he didn't mean to hurt them, but it's so emblematic of Adam Sandler as a person.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna do this dodgeball scene. I'm gonna be mean to the kids in the movie, so I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can in real life.
Yeah,
Like their parents, like, hey, you can't throw it that hard, and he was like, okay, and then he kept doing it.
but I do think that feels like it's going through his whole career, and he's just him personally.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he cares.
No, not at all.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about other people and things and stuff. He just doesn't care. People say we can't do that, and he says, "All right, I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's.
And I guess for better or for worse.
Yeah.
It's made him rich, so.
Exactly. And hated, so.
Yeah. Hey. But I just thought that was so funny because as I was watching, it's like, he's throwing it really hard, and then I read that the kids were crying and the parents were like angry at him. Hey, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I recently started using Letterboxd. I don't know if you know about that, the app where you can rate movies and write little reviews.
No.
Okay. Just to kind of keep track of the movies I watch for projects here. And I reviewed Going Overboard, and I gave it a half out of 5 stars because I don't think you can give it 0. I wanted to, but I couldn't. This one I gave 2.5 stars because it somewhat resembles a real movie. Like, on a scale from 1 to 5, what would you give it?
Could we just establish... We haven't talked about this before.
Okay.
Could we just establish a bigger scale than 5? Because I think that since we're going through like 37 movies, I think we need a bigger scale.
Okay.
Just so we can differentiate them. Because it's like different degrees in hell. I mean... If we say like that the Wedding Singer is a 4 and Happy Gilmore is a 3, it doesn't really reflect how different those two movies are.
That's true. Sure.
So either we go by 10 or we go by the IMDb with 10 and then points.
Decimals. Yeah.
And decimals. I don't know what you.
I guess technically it's like 100 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the easiest because it's so many movies to go by a 100 scale or like 1.1, 1.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, 100 scale. We go by 100 scale.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Good. So I'm gonna give Going Overboard a 0.
Okay. Okay.
Or if we're not allowed to make 0, so I'm gonna give it a 1.
Okay.
The lowest on the scale.
Yeah. I say we can give it a 0. Every decimal counts, so it's a 0.
A 0.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing redeemable about that movie.
No.
There was nothing. And we'll see if we see another movie that gets a 0.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give Billy Madison. I'm gonna give it maybe 25.
2.5?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because 25 out of 100, that's like 1/4. So 2.5 out of. No, wait.
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
25
out of 100. But that's 1/4.
Yeah. That's 2.5
out of 100.
Out of 10, that's a 2.5.
Okay.
It's 25 out of 100 is a 2.5 out of 10. That's the same.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I give this a 25.
That's a lot. I don't know. On a 100 scale or Going Overboard, yeah, it's a 0 for me. I guess a 0.1 because I like the slime scene.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, I'm gonna revise. I say 20, not a 25, a 20. This one gets 20.
Okay.
So that's a 2 on a 10 scale.
2 on a 10 scale, yeah. I guess I would give Billy Madison like a, I don't know, 1.5 maybe.
Okay.
It's slightly better, but it's obnoxious And even to someone like me, it's slightly offensive. And I don't really get offended, but this movie was offensive from time to time.
I would say I would give. I only give this movie gains, like, I would say, 0.5 points for Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 point for the meme.
Oh yeah, we haven't forgotten about the meme. Yes.
And then 5 for the rest of it. So a two.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's like the only like
memorable
like cultural impact this movie has made on the world. It spawned a decent meme.
I think one of my favorite things, I don't know if you noticed this, but that guy who does the meme thing, I guess we're gonna watch a clip later.
Yeah.
But that guy, did you watch him when he wasn't speaking, when he was like in the background?
Yeah, I guess, but I didn't notice anything. What did he?
He looked like there wasn't a fiber of his being that wanted to be there.
Okay.
He didn't react to anything that happened. I mean, when they brought out guns and wrestler and everything, he's just standing there, looking tired, and really just want a paycheck.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he was amazing.
Well, let's then briefly discuss the director of this movie, which once again, that's something commendable, I suppose, with Adam Sandler so far in his career. In these two movies, both have been directed by women. The first one by Valerie Bryman, this one by Tamara Davis, which I guess is very progressive for early 90s. Yeah. But yes, Tamara Davis is not the greatest of directors, though. If you look at her track record.
No.
Her debut actually got pretty good reviews, but then she did this, and then she did Half Baked, the Britney Spears Crossroads movie, and just a bunch of terrible stuff. Then she got into TV, and she did some episodes of some stuff that I like. I mean, she did an episode of Santa Clarita Diet. She directed an episode of Dice, which I liked a lot. 2 episodes of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. So she's done some good stuff in TV, but her movies she made are mostly really terrible.
Yeah, it does look like she made a lot of music videos, right?
Yeah. Ooh, she did the the video for Mbop by Hanson.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, some Faith No More, Beastie Boys. Yeah, like
Depeche Mode, The Smiths.
Oh yeah. So she's done some good stuff when it comes to TV and music videos, but her movies, no. And Billy Madison is like emblematic of that part of her career.
Yeah.
But I would like to check out her first movie, Gun Crazy, because it actually got pretty good reviews. But anyway, yeah. I think that's why he was just standing there, and she wasn't the greatest, or isn't the greatest of directors.
Yeah,
I suppose.
So yeah.
Yeah, but let's look at that meme clip just to refresh people's memories. It's let's do this and let's do that.
What you just said.
And bring it up there. And play.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah,
it's a good monologue. I like it.
It is, and it kind of encapsulates Billy Madison as a person in this movie. Like, nothing he does makes any sense. I award you 0 points. May God have mercy upon your soul. That's pretty good. Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That kind of encapsulates the whole movie. Like, it's an incoherent mess, but you laugh sometimes, either out of pure self-preservation or because Chris Farley is in it.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Chris Farley is great in this. He's great in everything he's in.
Yeah. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. I have one more clip. I found a fake trailer for Billy Madison that someone cut together, which kind of looks like what I think Adam Sandler wanted this movie to be. Maybe a little too dramatic. But I get the feeling because of what happens like in the middle of the movie and especially towards the end, like he wanted this to be like a real movie. So I found someone who had cut together like an indie drama version of the movie.
I haven't seen this. So.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, well, let's see what you think about it. Let me just pull it up. Where is it? It's there. Let's start it in 3, 2, 1, click.
I want you all to meet Billy. Billy is special, just like every one of you.
Please, no gibberish tonight, please. I beg you.
That's it, Billy, get the hell out of here!
Talking like we used to do.
We parted this company with a 15-unit motel in Patchogue, Long Island. Our dream was to one day turn it over to our only son, Billy. I mean, how could I hand over my company to someone who couldn't even get through school on his own?
I'll do anything it takes. I'll go back to high school and take the exams again and take the test, re-graduate, prove to you I'm not an idiot. And then I get to take over Madison Hotels.
You pass every grade before June 15th. You take over.
Give him hell, Bill.
When I was 6 years old.
Here are the trigonometry handouts for the classes you missed. This is last year's physics notes. It's the best I could do.
I was running from
Man, I'm so nervous. I mean, social studies division, this is gonna be tough.
Billy is a nuisance. He will be gone in 2 weeks. I apologize for this inconvenience.
I hate cursive and I hate all of you! I'm never coming back to school! Never!
It frames it like he's like mentally challenged.
Yes!
When are you gonna find whatever it is you're looking
And it
for?
kind of works that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do this if I set my mind to it.
Correct.
I am the smartest man alive!
Adam Sandler.
I believe in you. You know, some people have no willpower, no brains, no vision. And you have all those things. You're just afraid to use them.
Yeah, no.
Oh, God. So that was the movie they wanted to make, I think. A little more silly, of course,
Yeah.
but yeah. But that also proves that every movie can look good with a well-made trailer.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
true. Except maybe going overboard.
yeah.
There's not much to use there.
Agreed. I just want to.
That's a project for you. Make going overboard looking good.
God,
through a trailer.
Yeah. Just quick shout out to the channel where I found this, Uncle Bob's Renegade Chop Shop. Yeah, he has some more stuff like this if you want to check it out. But that's about it. Like that's what the movie could have been if they tried a little bit, but it wasn't to be. Instead, we got the Billy Madison we've been discussing for an hour now almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much more to say.
No.
It's a small improvement from the last one, but it's still a terrible, terrible movie. So, I think unless you have something more to say, we're going to end it there.
No, that's about it. So yeah, next week.
Yeah, what's up for next week?
Bulletproof and Happy Gilmore. So there's a 2 movie next week.
We see.
I put
yeah, we were gonna see Adam Sandler try his hands on some action comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put those two movies together because, well, honestly, I don't think there's much to say about Bulletproof.
No,
and
I've never seen the whole thing, so.
Yeah, and Happy Gilmore is. I mean, we've all seen it.
Yeah, it's the
We all
one
know
people
that movie.
reference to when they say, "Hey, Adam Sandler used to be funny."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's I guess it's my favorite of his. Oh, I suppose it's the only one I own. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those two movies, and also they were made in the same year.
Yeah, like
so
it's 96, right? It's the year after Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
from now on, Adam Sandler made about two movies a year until this day.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Starting with Bulletproof. He did some movies before this. We didn't mention that, but he did like Airheads. Was before Billy Madison.
Yeah, where he had like a supporting role. Yeah, and some cameos and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, see you next week.
Yeah, and we had some people in the chat. We had Howdy Huffy. Nice of you to stop by. And yeah, to everyone watching, if you're watching this before next episode, you could check out Bulletproof and Happy Gilmore, so you can follow along in the discussion for next week. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because so far one movie a week has been fine. Even though they're terrible, it's like, yeah, I can do that. It's just an hour and a half. But not 2 movies. That's about 3 hours of Adam Sandler in 1 week. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm going to try. We'll see. But yeah. So thank you for watching, both here live and in the archives. And we'll see you next week. But until then, have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Oh, I forgot to play the outro music. Oh, well. We'll do that next week. Bye.